What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Aftersound here, bringing you Splinterlands content every single day. We also stream right here on this channel every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday morning, so come by and say hello. All right, guys, I wanted to play around with some numbers here and get a rough idea of how many packs we would actually need to sell in order to completely wipe out the DEC that is currently in the circulating supply. So again, this is not going to be perfect. I'm doing this in a vacuum. Keep in mind that half of the DEC that is collected for Rebellion, half of it will go to the team, the other half will go to the DAO. The one that goes to the team, or the half that goes to the team, will potentially then be sold by the team back into the marketplace as they use that as company revenue to keep the lights on, pay employees, all that. But again, I just wanted to take a look at this and see, all right, if we account for all the wallets we are aware of that are holding, right, whether it's bridge wallets, whether it's team wallets, or whether it is liquidity pools, and just remove those from the mix, assuming that people don't pull out of there. Okay, so just run with me here for a second. Assuming that people don't do that, then how many packs will we need to sell to completely wipe everything out? Again, just playing around with some numbers. So as you can see here, there's an SL Cold wallet that has roughly 368 million. So I've already done the math, but I'm just going to show you where my logic was, and then feel free to double check that. But again, it's just rough math. So you got 4.6 billion that you're starting with. You can remove the 368 million that's sitting in the team wallet right now. There's 265 million for the TerraBlock Binance or BNB chain bridge, and another 250 for the ETH bridge. There's another 220 million for the SPS DAO. Then on top of that, let's go over here to BSwap for a second, and you can see the top two pools are holding a significant amount of SPS, right? So DEC SPS has 462 million DEC in it, and then the Swap.Hive and DEC pool has 127 million, right? And a lot of these are significantly smaller, right? We jumped on like 12 million there, so I'm not even counting those for the time being. So roughly, where does that get us? It's about 3 billion DEC that we would need to ETH through. Now, if that sounds familiar, it's because I've done these calculations for land, right? And not much has changed outside of the fact that the SPS DAO has continued to acquire more through the Riftwatcher sale. But it's about 3 billion DEC. When we were looking at land, that's a 40% utilization of land. And I was like, that's not, that seems a little high for where I think we'll be, at least initially or over the first month or two. But with Rebellion, I wanted to just translate that over to the amount of packs we would need to sell for Rebellion when you consider 4,000 DEC per pack. Again, we don't have the final details of the sale. Maybe it's more than that, maybe it's less. Either way, my point is that if you account for that, roughly 3 billion DEC would equal 750,000 packs. So I don't know if that's a lot. I don't know if that's a little, considering that Matt wants to sell 2 to 3 million over the course of the year. 750,000 is probably a lot. I mean, that's kind of like, anywhere from like 1/3, or even more than 1/3, like 40% down to 25%, right? 25 to 40%, we'll call it, of like where Matt's expectations are. Are we going to do that in the pre-sale? I don't know. Will we do that over the first couple of months? Potentially, right? It really just depends on how powerful and how desirable Rebellion is. But I wanted to give it a number and present that number to you and see where your thoughts were. Now, I know there's a lot of people who are super, drinking the Kool-Aid and thinking that we're going to sell a ton of Rebellion packs. I know there's a lot of people on the other side that are just like, Rebellion's going to absolutely flop. Well, now that you have a number, we can kind of do an over or under. So this is kind of what I want to see if you're willing to participate in the comments. Like, do you think... And we'll put a time frame, right? Rebellion comes out, let's say sometime in October. I really want to give it 3 months, but we'll just say like end of the year to end of January, right? So roughly a 90-day period. In the first 3 months, do you think that we can sell 750,000 packs and therefore eat through all of the DEC liquidity that is out there? So that is my question for you guys. Again, just presenting the numbers. If I had to give my opinion on it, I would say that I have a lot, I'm very reserved when it comes to what my expectations are for Rebellion. So I would actually say under, but that's because I'm hoping I'm wrong and that, people see Rebellion and it ends up being this awesome set. And more so, if we can trigger the flywheel, right? prematurely than us wiping out all the DEC. If we can trigger that flywheel and SPS starts to go up in value, we may see more people come in and start burning SPS. Now, the last thing to keep in mind, okay, before we cut things out, I should have said this earlier, but there are a lot of people here who are holding on to tons of DEC. So, for example, Cryptomancer has 50 million DEC. Now, we know that he needs a lot for land, right? Jesterago has another 20 million. There's Jarvie with almost 20 million, right? So there's a lot of names on here that we know are saving for land. The question then becomes, are they going to shift focus and spend on Rebellion? Because if they don't, if they decide that, I'm just going to hang on to this DEC because I'm going to need it for land, and land is right around the corner, well, then it gets interesting because that 750,000 packs ends up falling as a baseline. But I still want to keep it there at 750,000. That's all I have for you guys in this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Very curious to know how you're thinking about this. I will catch you all in the next one and see you around the game. Take care.